Well, hello there, everyone. Boy, oh boy, do I have exciting news for you. But first, welcome to Teacup For One. My name is Matt and I have 2 degrees. Guys, I made a movie! Okay, well, technically, I made a web series. But, like, if you put all 4 parts together, it's basically a movie. Explanation, here it comes. So, you might have noticed that the channel's been a little quiet recently. Don't worry, I haven't stopped making videos. I've just been putting so much time into my super exciting December project. Now, I knew I wanted to do something extra special for my very first Teacup For One Christmas, but I already did Vlogtober, and that nearly ended me, so there was no way I could handle doing Vlogmas so close to Vlogtober. And I thought to myself, this channel is very selfishly dedicated to all the things that I personally love talking about and love doing and love indulging and embracing it. Disney, Shakespeare, Funkos, cats. And the one thing I haven't done on this channel yet is actually make something. I'm usually talking about other people's movies and other people's Funkos. I didn't make a Funko. But I thought, wouldn't it be fun if I made a web series that I could share here on Teacup For One? And that is exactly what I did. So I am very excited to announce that this weekend I am going to be premiering my brand new holiday web series based on Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. I love Christmas Carol so much. I went through a phase for like 15 years where I had this personal tradition of every single year buying a filmic adaptation of Christmas Carol on either VHS or DVD and then adding it to my Christmas Carol movie collection and then usually not actually watching them. But one year I sat down and I watched all of them in a row. Christmas Carol movies are one of my favorite things. I think they are fascinating. I have very strong feelings on which ones are my favorites and which ones I don't care about so much. And who knows, maybe that'll be a video. But today we're here to talk about the Teacup For One Christmas Carol. My elevator pitch is that it's like Black Mirror meets Charles Dickens. So the whole concept is that Scrooge never leaves his house. All of the ghosts are manifesting themselves to him through technology, through his computer, through his television, through his phone. Now, obviously a little bit of this came out of the necessity of, like, the whole world situation right now, but this is actually an idea and an interpretation I've had for Christmas Carol brewing in the back of my mind for a couple of years, and just circumstances kind of led to this being the perfect time to do it. And as much as I love Christmas Carol, prepping for this was my first time actually sitting down and reading the text, and it was actually my first time reading anything by Charles Dickens, and he was very talented. I don't know, like, actually reading the text, it made me so much more excited to interpret the story through this format, through having Scrooge being haunted by people through technology, like, again, through phones, computers, whatever, because that meant that there was so much more emphasis and importance on dialogue. So I could use chunks of the text that are usually cut in adaptations that are more focused on actual action than the spoken word. And like, if you haven't figured it out based on my Shakespeare videos, I really love classical text. Like, people just knew how to express themselves so much more betterer a long time ago. Obviously, I'm very excited for this. This is a huge passion project of mine. I will throw in a disclaimer that the production value is going to be like a little rough around the edges because, I mean, I'm not a cinematographer by any means. I only took intro to cinematography during the first of my 2 degrees and I only got like a B or a B+. I'm not a sound person whatsoever. Like, I'm more of an actor, director, writer, editor-y kind of person, and on this, I've had to do everything. But this was actually a really great learning opportunity for me too, to get behind the camera in a filmmaking sort of capacity. Anyway, the one thing that is not rough around the edges is the cast. That's what I'm the most excited to share with all of you through this Christmas Carol web series. Because I'm just going to call a spade a spade. I have very talented friends. And I was lucky enough that they gave me some of their time to be part of this project. Now, Christmas Carol has a lot of characters. I sort of knew that going into it, but like when I actually sat down and started to write it, I realized that like there's the characters that we all know and remember, like the Ghosts, Bob Cratchit, Tiny Tim, but then there's a lot of really small bit parts, and this is like just the genius of Charles Dickens, is that even characters who have like 2 or 3 lines have just as much depth and development as the characters who are there from start to finish. So like I needed a ton of very talented actors, and luckily I know a ton of very talented actors. Now, just to give you a quick overview of some of the featured performers in this project, first off, as Scrooge, we have the one and only Craig Maguire, and if you're familiar with the Teacup For One channel, you might remember him as the judge who was almost single-handedly responsible for poor R210 coming in last place during the Droids and Diadems pageant. But we forgive him for that. He was also there when I did my Rocky Horror live stream. Also, if you tuned into my Rocky Horror live stream, Tamera Broczkowski, who is one of the panelists, is going to be playing Jacqueline Marley, and she is terrifying, like in a good way. We have Brandon Stafford as the Ghost of Christmas Past. He hasn't made an appearance on Teacup For One yet, but he was the headliner in my last Christmas web series a couple years ago called Secret Krampus, and if you can find that somewhere on the depths of the internet, enjoy. It was a lot of fun. It was like a Christmas murder mystery. I called it a Chris mystery. Anyway, he's the Ghost of Christmas Past, and he's hilarious. As the Ghost of Christmas Present, we have Kristen Zaza. Now, she's a friend of mine. She's an actor. She's a creator as well. And for the past few years, she has been the writer, producer, just like the all-around creator of this incredible podcast called On a Dark, Cold Night, where she writes original ghost stories that are meant to be like ghost bedtime stories. There could not be anyone better to play one of the Christmas Carol ghosts than the person who pretty much full-time reads ghost stories on a podcast. And she had so many incredible insights into the character and gave me an interpretation that I have never seen for Christmas Present before. I am so excited. And as the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, we have a very special guest. But I'm not going to spoil it because that's like one of the best parts of the series. Anyway, stay tuned to the channel. The first episode is going to be dropping this weekend, but now I'm going to give you a quick preview and show you the trailer for the very first Teacup For One original series. Roll the tape.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
All right, who were you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacqueline Mair. You will be haunted by 3 spirits. Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread.
Could I take them all at once? A conference call, perhaps?
Expect the first when the bell tolls 1.
Ooh, chilling. Anyway, friends, that concludes a brief episode of Teacup For One. Now, if you want to be the first to know when these episodes air, make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. And if you haven't subscribed already, but you want to subscribe right now, it's super easy. All you have to do is click on my face. Thanks for joining me today, everyone. My name is Matt, and I have 2 degrees, and that's the Teacup For One. Expect the first ghost when the